Hey guys, this is E with Scrapbooking with me, and I'm excited to work on this little journal today. All I could think about last night was finishing this journal up. So I couldn't even go on to a new project this morning until I finished this one. Now, this one is already sold. I had somebody that messaged me last night, Gail. Hello, Gail. Thank you so much. And asked could she purchase this. And I said, of course you can. And what comes with it is a nice bag of vintage lace. So Gail will be getting that as well. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and finish this one up. I've got a few things that I want to do to it. A few things I want to add in and make. And then after that, we're going to stitch in the signature. I may stitch it in first, I don't know. And then I'll show you what kind of spine I'm going to put on here, or cover. Maybe let's call it a cover. Now, yesterday I promised that I would show you how I keep my lace and trims stored. This is just a drawer from one of those rolling carts that you got all those different drawers in. I've got one of those out in the garage, and I don't really use the rolling cart that much because I don't have room for it in here, but I use the drawers and they just stack up. So I've got one for my scrap paper, and then I've got two for my laces and trims, and I have put all of my laces and trims on our bobbins. So these are the little bobbins that we sell. They're different sizes. This is the small, well, that's called large. Let me find the next size. This is called extra large, and then we have one that is called 2X large. This one it holds lace up to 4 inches wide between the two little ears, as I call them. This one holds lace up to 3 inches wide. And then this one, the regular one, holds lace 2 inches wide. Now you can see on some of my larger ones, I've got 2 or 3 different strands of lace on there. That's just because I have a lot of this size, so I put them on there. Also, I had a question when they saw my pins still on there, because we advertise these as they have the little slit in them so you don't have to use the pins. Well, when I have 3 or 4 like this on here, I don't want to run them all the way across and put them through my little slit, so I use my pins. Also, when on my very vintage laces and trims, I use pins because I don't want to stick them through there, because these are more vintage and older, and I'm not going to slide them through the little slit, but they do have little slits right here where, you know, and I put a lot of mine through there. It's just that, like, this is a very, very old lace. I'm not going to send it through there. I'm not going to put it through there. So I just stick my little pin in there. These are very old laces. So, you know, I have a lot that are old and I don't put through there, but you can put them through there. It is possible. You can do it if you want to. Most of mine are just older and I don't do it. But then I just keep them stored like this. And these are just some that I had received in some Happy Mail that I haven't taken off of here. And I just stuck them down in the side there. So that is the way I store my laces. And I have another one of these just like this. And also, let's see, I have a smaller one, I think, that has my black laces in it. And this one actually is supposed to be over here. The blues. I try to keep my colors together, but that don't always work for me. Now, all that being said, I was looking for a lace that I wanted to use on here. And I may just try 2 or 3 different ones because I don't know which one is going to look the best. I think that's really pretty. And this is what we're going to use for our cover. It's just some lace. That's pretty, but it's not what I want. So let's go look further. That's a beautiful lace, but for this project, not what I want exactly. And these are all stainless steel pins. They don't rust. Don't ever use in your laces and trims regular pins. Make sure they're stainless steel. Okay, let's see. Let's look at, which one was I looking at? Let's look at this one. This one is an old one. Ooh, that's pretty too. Let's see. I think I think that is the right side, maybe. Oh yeah, I like that one. See, that one is kind of goes with these a little bit more than that real white did. So I like that. So that's what we're going to use right there. So I'm going to cut a piece of this off. And it's not going to be cut too straight right now, but we can straighten it up later. And then she'll get a piece of this in her package too. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go ahead and cut some off for her. And that will go in her package along with some others that I have collected up for her. Okay. Now, so we're going to put that on the spine right there. Yep, that's going to work. Isn't that pretty? Okay, I'm going to lay that aside for a second. Now, I want to, let's see, which one was I looking at? This one, I think it is. I want to put one of those torn pockets on there. Let me move my trim out of the way. I want to put a torn one down through there. So I'm going to go through here and try to find a piece that will work. Well, that one would work. So it's the right size too. Now I think I want to tear it this way. Have it slant up like this rather than slant this way. What do you think? Yeah, let's try that, see if it works. We can always use it on another page if it doesn't work. Okay, now that's way too much white for me, so I'm going to pull that off. Don't want to go over my trim, so I'm just going to bring it up to about right there. That means I just need to trim a little of this off. And then I'm going to trim it off about right there. So let's go ahead and trim that. Okay, and I'm going to ink again with my old paper. This paper to me feels like it needs a little frog on there. I don't think I have any frogs, but to me that almost looks like a little lily pad. But I don't think I have any little frogs I could put on there. Not that I know of. So then we have a little slanted pocket there that we'll make a journaling card for. And then on this side I want to do another one. And let's see, I may. Ooh, I put that on a little crooked, didn't I? And I didn't glue it well either. So let's go ahead and glue that down a little bit better. There we go. That's better. No, that's not going to work. We could put a top tuck pocket on it. You know, I might just do that. I don't make those top tuck pockets very often. I might just do that. You can always tuck a little card or something up under there. So how is everyone? I went back to my doctor today for my 1 week post-op on my left eye, and then of course had my right eye checked. And they also went ahead and did me a temporary prescription for, I started to say subscription, prescription for some glasses just for like driving and things like that. I don't need them for anything close up, but if I'm going to drive a long distance, I may need some glasses for, you know, to see road signs and stuff. So get this now. I went from a negative 975, now let that register to you, negative 975 to a negative 225. That's how much of a change has happened in my eyes. Is that not incredible? I was just over the moon happy. I think he saw that in me. He said, that sounds pretty good, doesn't it? I said, oh my goodness. No, that doesn't sound good. That sounds wonderful. I said, you will not believe how long it's been since I've had good vision. I mean, my vision has been bad since I was a child because I had the histoplasmosis settle in my eyes. And so my eyes went bad many, many years ago. And I said, so this is beyond wonderful. And he was happy too. So we both sat there and celebrated just a little bit. Let's see. I think I'm going to put a piece of trim down on the bottom of this. Just give it a little bit more dress up. So anyway, what I was getting at is I don't have to go back for a month. I was happy because I thought, oh my goodness, I'm probably going to have to go back next week and then the next week, you know. But no, I don't have to go back for a month. And then they'll dilate my eyes and they'll look and make sure that the ocular lens is settling down where they need to be and all of that. So I was excited about that too because where I have to go is almost an hour from my house. So we was driving an hour 2 hours there and back every week to the doctor. So I was ready to stop. But he did say I do still have just a little swelling around the incision in my left eye. My right eye did great. Didn't have any swelling or anything. I have a little bit on my right, but he said it's not unusual. It's not anything to worry about. It's just, sometimes it happens that way. Sometimes one eye does a little better than the other one, and that's why they don't like to do them both at the same time. Well, my doctor will not do them both at the same time. He refuses. He said even if the patient requests, he said, I still won't do it. I'll just tell them they have to go somewhere else. Because he said if something goes wrong or you get a bad infection in an eye, he said, I want you to have at least one good eye to see out of while we're getting the other one healed up. So he is pretty stickler about that, and I was glad of it. It didn't bother me a bit. I said, that's not a problem with me. I'm not going to argue with you at all. Now, I thought we might put that down through there. Like I said, this is going to be a lacy journal. Using lots and lots of lace. Because I'm still digging through my laces and I still have tons to go through. Now, some of you ask where I get a lot of my laces. I will tell you. Our admin, Cindy Rozak, she runs our sister site, and it's a site that I opened up probably maybe 3 years ago now, and we call it our sister site, and she sells her vintage laces there because it was just ideal for her to do that. She was on Etsy, and then she wanted to close her Etsy store, and I needed somebody to run that, so that is where she sells her vintage laces. And all of the ones that I get, except the ones that you guys have sent me, are from Cindy's Vintage Cafe. But that's what she was on Etsy. But our name over there is Lighthouse Stop and Shop. So that's what I had named it a long time ago, and she was fine with just leaving it that. So that is where she sells her vintage laces. That's where a lot of mine come from. So hopefully that answered your question. I'll try to remember to link it below. If for some reason I forget, just nudge me. Give me a little nudge and say, you forgot to link that. Don't be mean. No, I'm kidding. Y'all are not ever mean. I was thinking about putting something right there, but I just want a little piece of something. I don't want anything really wide because this is too pretty to cover up. And that looks more pink when I put it down on there, so I don't want that one. And I'm pretty sure she takes her husband is like mine. He's had lots of health problems, and she has to take some time off every now and then with him. But I'm pretty sure she's still going strong, and she still has some, you know, she has other things besides laces and trims over there, but pretty sure she still has some going. She did the last time I went over and looked, and I don't get to go look a lot. If I did, there would be nothing over there for anybody else to buy because I've never seen a lace that I don't like. And when I go over, I end up buying her out of stuff. So I try not to go over there too often because I want you guys to have a chance at it. That's mean of me, isn't it? Mean. Now, this is something that who made this for me? Cindy York made this for me, I do believe. And I was thinking that it might clip there. These are the ones that I had to let dry out because they had gotten wet in our flood. So let's see if it will go there. I think that looks cute. Yeah. So we'll put that there. And then you could clip something under here. As a matter of fact, let's just go ahead and make something that we can clip under there. I'll show you something. And a lot of you may know how to make these. This is something that has been around a while. I'm not the first to make, and I know I won't be the last. But it's just something that I don't know if anybody really invented it or not. Let's see, do I want to make it? I think I want to make two out of this. Some people say that Gail Augustinelli came up with it, but you know, I've seen it like 20 years ago out there, so I don't know. I don't know who came up with it, but it doesn't matter. It's not a matter who came up with it. We're just going to make some. And these are just some quick and easy things that you can make for your journals, and they're really, really pretty in them. So I'm just going to take in an 8.5 by 11 piece of coffee dyed paper that came from Triple V Vintage, and her link I will try to remember to put below. And I tore it in half because I didn't want mine to be quite as wide as that paper was. And then you're going to fold down. Oh, mine's not wanting to fold right there. Come on now, go down. There we go. You're going to fold down one side and then fold down the other side. Mine is just not wanting to fold for some reason. There we go. That'll work. It doesn't have to be perfect. It did a little bit of a tear right there, so we're just going to clip that off. Okay, and then you just start folding this up. Now I like to fold mine kind of small. We're going to fold it even smaller than that. We're going to fold it about like that, and then that, and then that, and I think that will come down to right there. It's just some little faux envelopes. And all they are, when you're finished with them, is a flip out for a journal. To journal on. Like for a journal page. Now, you can glue this part down. And I'm going to glue it down on mine because since I tore that little piece there, I'm going to go ahead and glue them down. Or you can just leave them as is. It doesn't matter. It just makes a little faux envelope. Yeah, that little piece I tore, so that's okay. Like that. And then I like to go ahead and ink all around, and it makes it look more vintage and more like it was an old letter that you actually are putting in there. So I just inked where it folded, and that makes it look a little bit more vintage. And then I'm just going to fold that over. Make sure you crease your folds real well. And then this can just tuck right there, or it can tuck in a pocket. It can tuck this way, like that. And then you have a little journal card right there. So I'm just going to leave it there for now. Let's see. I think this was the page that I wanted something else on. And this is another way to make those. It's basically the same way. It's just I folded up the bottom before I folded this over, and then it makes a smaller little top if you want the top on your envelope piece to look smaller. So you can make them either way that you want. And then that would fold over. And I think what we're going to do to this one is attach it. I'm going to put glue right there and right there. And let's see. Yeah, across the bottom. And then we're just going to attach this one, and then it will fold out. And it can be journaled on. And I did leave the top open. Might want to tuck a little tag or something in there. And I'm going to grab a little clip, Tim Holtz clip, from here, hopefully, if I can get all of this out of here. I did that one day, trying to pull those open. And the whole lot of them flew out of my hand and went everywhere in the floor. And these things are so tiny, they're hard to see, or hard for me to see then. So I had paper clips everywhere. Hubby finally got a little magnet and put it on the end of a stick when he was picking them up with that. Okay, so there is our little clip right there. That's cute. And then we could put something here if we wanted to. Let's see if one of our little buttons would look okay there. I made those little buttons the other day. Now, if you missed the tutorial, last time I mentioned paper buttons, someone said, I didn't see where you made those. It's back just a little ways from this video. So just go up to the top and click on my videos, and it will put them in order as the day that I made them, and then you can just scroll down through there. So I'm going to put that one on there, I think. But yeah, I had those little bitty paper clips everywhere. It said the moral of that story is, don't try to open the paper clips by just yanking on the tape that holds it together. I said, yeah, okay. He said, you always try to go at everything too fast. That's why you make such a mess sometimes. I said, I know. You're not telling me anything I don't know. That's just my fast gear. It's hard for me to slow down to my slow gear. Let's see. Alright, let's scrap some of these. And I think on here I want to do like a little side tuck, but I want it to be, let's see if I know how to explain it. I want it to be a little bit torn and scalloped looking. Don't know if we're going to manage that or not, but let's see if we can. And I'm thinking I want to go with the white, or the light color, because I've got some, you know, dark here and then some brown over here. Now I don't want it to be any whiter than maybe that, and then just the height. So alright, let's cut the bottom of this off, then we'll tear the other part. I have people that ask me all the time, why don't I use the other rulers that come with our tear ruler? So let's just use this one. I do use the other ones, I just don't use it as much as I use the smaller one. But we'll use this. Now this is a thicker cardstock. This would tear your regular copy paper and digital paper really, really well. But see, it puts a real nice edge on it. I like how that tears. Isn't that pretty? I don't have a problem with that. So I do use them. I just may not always show that I use them. Now, I want to put this on here, and then I may want to put a piece of lace down through there. I'm not sure. Let's check. Now, I want you to hang around. Hopefully, none of you are gone already. want you to hang around because I'm going to be using a new tool to bind our book or our journal. So you have to hang around to see what that new tool is. And I may just have to put a little note at the front for everybody to hang around to see what the new tool is. We don't have it available in our shop yet. I'm using the prototype and I'm just kind of playing around with it to make sure that, you know, everything is working correctly and the design is good and all of that before we actually mass produce them. But I think it's going to work great. I've already bound one book with it, or one journal with it, and it worked great. So we'll see. But you have to hang around to get a look at it. Alright, do we want to put some lace on that? Or do we want to leave it just like it is? Or what do we want to do? No, we got lace here, so we don't want to put any lace there. So we'll make a little side tuck. We can make a little journaling card out of that maybe. I tell you, let's just go ahead and do it while we're here. So I need to make journaling cards anyway. I'm just going to round the corners. I guess I could have put my paper on the back first. You know, you can write on that just in between the flowers. So I may just leave it. And if you want to cover it, Gail, when you get it, you can always do that. Then I'm just going to tuck that in like that. And that'll be the little piece for there. Now we need a journaling card for this. And we want to choose something that we haven't used before. Or haven't used on this side, I should say. That one would be fine, and it's the perfect size. I wouldn't have to cut it down. And I'm not gonna cut it into a tag shape because it's gonna be a thin one. So I am just gonna round the corners, and you could definitely write on the back of that. So around my corners, and I may put a little bit of lace at the top. May just clip it on there or glue it on, I don't know which. I'll decide that when I start doing everything else. Now I don't want to cover any of this up. We could put a little label or something there, but I don't really want to do a lot because I love that she has on there. Let's see, what about Tim Holtz little label right there? That'll work. Let's see what where we've got to. Oh yeah, it's getting even more chunky. I think I'm going to go ahead and bind it, and then we can always add more too after we bind it, because once it gets pretty chunky it gets a little bit harder to bind. So I'm just going to go through, make sure my pages are the right way up and I haven't flipped anything over. And then we shall bind it. Yeah, I think it looks good. Alright, we're going to make sure that everything is even. Got a little piece right there. What is that? That's just lace sticking out. Okay, that all looks pretty even. So here is our new tool. This is called, and I don't even have mine glued together. This is just how tight it is without gluing it. We're probably gonna call this our journal cradle. I don't know which yet. It's got my traditional butterfly on there. Benji made these. He designed them. I just told him basically what I wanted, and he designed it. Now, this is exactly, I do believe, 9 inches long. So it's a good length for any size journal that you want to make. Yeah, it's 9 inches long. But if you had a journal that's longer, you could put it in there because there's no ends on this. So you could just put it right on in there and carry it on out. And then it is, let's see, if we go this way, it's about 5 inches deep. So that's a good depth for most all of your journals. And like I said, even if it's taller, it doesn't matter because there's no restrictions here. Now, I did have him, I usually bind mine in the center and then 3 inches out from the center both ways. I know some people bind theirs at 2.5 out. So we may come back and put another little slot at 2.5 on here, 2.5 there, and 2.5 here. I'm not sure. We're working on that. That's just one of the things we're working on. The other parts seem like everything works great. I just know that there's some people that from the center they come up 2.5 instead of 3. I always come up 3 because I make my journals 8.5 to 9. So coming up 3 is just good for me. But we'll probably go ahead and put another little slot in there in case you bind yours at the center and then 2.5 and 2.5. But now you can measure in your journal if you want. You can, let me find the center of mine. There's the center. Now I'm going to go ahead and, since I've fiddled around with it a little bit, I've got it out of line. I'm going to go ahead and line it back up. And I think I will glue my lace on. I'm not going to bind it in here. And then I'm just going to center it in the cradle. And it's easy for me to do because this is 8.5, I do believe. This is 9, so I've got a 1/2 inch on either end. Now, I am going to clip this directly to the cradle. Instead of clipping this, and it might slide around in the cradle, I'm clipping it directly to the cradle. Let me find my other clips. I'm just going to make sure it's all the way down in there. I'll clip it there. And then I'm going to clip it over here. And clipping it in 2 places is usually good enough for me. I don't have to clip it anywhere else. And then if I turn it this way, like when there's a fly, sorry. When I am looking at it from the front, I can see those holes. So that's why I'm not marking mine. But if you're afraid you can't see those holes and hit them, then go ahead and mark yours at 3, 2.5, 2.5, whatever you do. But I can see them and I can kind of judge where I'm going through. So I am just going to shoot it right down through there. Okay, there's my center one. There is that one. And then there is that one. So I don't know if you can see those holes. Yeah, you can see them. There's my holes. Now, instead of taking this, instead of unclipping everything and taking a chance on something moving, I'm just going to take it up like this. And a journal that's not a staggered journal would be, of course, a whole lot easier. But, you know, we're going to start out with a difficult one. Now, and I just clip it before I pull it out of there. And there we are. And like I said, this is not glued together. When you get it, you can glue it on these little places right here, and it'll be stationary. Nothing will move, which it doesn't really move now, but you could definitely glue it. I just left mine because it doesn't fall apart. Nothing comes apart, and it works great. These should be available, we're hoping, the 1st of May, so stick around. Maybe not the 1st, but the 1st week. So stick around because we are still just working on this little part right here, and that'll be it, and they'll be ready to go. They're made out of a good quality, let's see, what did he call it? Birch wood, I do believe. I can't remember what he called it. No, is it birch? I don't know. It's a good quality wood. Men know about wood. I know about paper. Okay, let's see what we're going to bind this one with. And it really doesn't matter because I am going to cover it with lace anyway. I think I'm going to bind this one with some white. Let me grab a needle. And this is our white waxed thread. We have it in the store. And then I go through the center. And I want you to look at how good that comes out in the center when you're using that cradle. Because this little piece right here fits right down in there. And it keeps it held so that when you punch your hole, it comes right to the center. I like that part because sometimes when I was using my foam and punching them, I'd get it a little bit off one way or the other. But it works great with that. I'm so proud of him. He is such a good designer. He's if he just had more hours in a day, because he does work a full-time job as well, so Now I went up to the top, back down to the bottom, and then I'm going to go back through the middle. And see how easy that was? I didn't struggle finding those holes because they weren't off center, they weren't messed up. Alright, and I am going to clip this off. And I'm not just trying to sell them. I mean, you can definitely buy one if you want, but if you don't want to, that's fine too. See that? It's perfectly up that little spine there. You can pre-order now if you want. I think we'll probably put them up for pre-order. But if you want to pre-order one, I think they're going to sell for, I want to say they're going to sell for like $31, something like that, 30 or 31. But if you're interested, I'm going to unclip that off. You can go ahead and send me an email, and my email is below, and you can just say that you want to pre-order one, and we can put you in line, because I know they're probably going to go really fast. So if you don't get in line, I don't know how quick you'll get one. Let me make sure I'm getting this the right way up. Yeah, that's the right way up. Okay, now we're going to put our lace on here, and there it is. Some of this lace I have the hardest time. No, that's her piece. I have a piece that's the right length. Here we go. Some of it I have a really hard time distinguishing which side is which. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Okay, I'm going to use my book weight on here. And this book weight, I have it in my Amazon store. If you want to go check that out, the link for that is also below. And I've got to tidy up my Amazon store, so bear with me. I haven't done maintenance over there in a while. I haven't really had time, so I've got to tidy it up. But if there's anything that you're looking for that you can't find either in our store or in my Amazon store, just send me an email and ask me, and I'll try my best to find it wherever I can. Okay, let's put that right there. Let me make sure that it looks pretty straight. Yep. Get our little tool, press that down. Cool. Love it, love it, love it. Now I am going to, let me grab a piece of my little mat here. This is our non-stick craft mat, just so that, you know, that other's not dry and I don't want it to stick to my table. And that is Fabri-Tac. Yeah, Fabri-Tac glue. I had to think if I had Fabri-Tac in there or Fabri-Fix. That's my Fabri-Tac glue. That's in our store as well. Ooh, this is so pretty. Now I just need to trim those ends off. Alright, isn't that pretty? It's pretty. I love it. I love it. Now I still need to make more journaling cards and things like that, but I just love how this come together. And you can put, you know, you could put something on that page. I wouldn't if it was me, because I love those flowers. But you can journal here, journal there, and that's another pretty one. And then here we need a tag, so let's just look and see what we've got here. I think we've got one that will fit already. No, that one's a little bit wide there. Well, I'll have to cut journal tags down, so I'll probably make those off camera. You guys know how to make journal tags and journaling cards, things like that, so I'm not going to make those on camera. Isn't that pretty? And then here I'll make two tags, one here and one here. And I'll probably add in some different things on some of these pages. I'll either add in more lace, or I may add in a different kind of pocket. I'll make a tag for that. Another pocket or something here. That can be journaling. Wouldn't that be? I just love that sound. That'd be so good to journal on. I need to add some little something there. And put a tag there, more journaling space, another tag. And then in the center, I wanted to do something with some brown paper. So I'm still debating on what I'm going to do in the center, but I will do a flip through of this when I'm completely finished. And then here you can do a little top tuck tag. And then over here a side tuck tag. We need to probably put something else there. And then here's a side tuck. And there's a little journaling card there with journal space here. Whoops. Another one here. After the tag. I just think it's gorgeous. I know I made it, but I just think it's cute. I mean, you know, they're not hard to make at all. I'll probably make more of these. These are just, they come together easy. The way they look to me is so pretty, so I'll probably end up making more of these. And who knows, I may even find a way that I can add another signature or two on them. Who knows? But I will let you guys go. That's all I'm going to do to this right this minute. Like I said, I probably will do a few more things on the inside, and then I'm going to send Gail a good supply of goodies to go along with it so that she can decorate like she wants when she gets it. And we will talk to you guys later. Don't forget to give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Bye-bye.